Hey ball hacks, I wanted to come to you tonight and do a basic care video. For basic care, you need to know your humidity, your temperatures, and what they need to be at. For humidity, you want it in between 55 and they say 65, but I prefer 70 because in between the 60 and 70 mark, that's where you really get your best sheds. So the main thing you want to do is you want to keep those constant. You don't want them fluctuating because that's just going to stress your ball out and then maybe it might not eat. Feeding wise, depending on the size of your ball, if it's a like juvenile 100 grams to about 300, feed them about every 5 days. I normally do till about 250 grams. That's when I move them up to a 7 day. But now, since all my Royals are above that 250 gram mark, all my balls eat every 7 days. I feed about 10% of their body weight, so I feed on the lower end of the 10-15 rule. I find that this helps with keeping their feed response strong, and they eat more frequently for me. So now, got your heat, got your humidity. For your enclosure, I will always advocate tubs because I just absolutely love how they keep. They're amazing, they're simple, they're easy. Even if you only have one ball, you still have a good visual effect with tubs. You can see through these just as good as a tank. Like I can look at my tubs right now and I can see my balls. She's hiding behind the sticker, so I was just lazy, didn't take that off. But anyway, so you got your heat, you got your humidity. Now the basic tools that you're going to need for your enclosure to make sure you can run this properly. First thing, the most important thing in your arsenal is your thermostat. You need a good quality thermostat because if you think about it, if you run a belly heat, a UTH, without a thermostat, they can get up to 170 degrees. That's enough to, well, kill your snake. So, with that said, that can also burn them. And if you burn them, that's a vet bill. And not only is that a vet bill, that's a vet bill on top of buying a thermostat. So preventative maintenance, buy a thermostat first before you run any type of belly heat, before you run any type of heat source at that. In a video, I don't think that made it on YouTube. I think I still have it. I'll get that on there. I've actually cooked an egg with a CHE. So that was not regulated by a thermostat. So they get quite hot. You need to have a thermostat. I recommend the Spider Robotics Herpstat or the Vivarium Electronics. I wouldn't go any lower than the 200D though. Both are good brands. I've heard the Herpstat's better. That's actually what I'm going to be moving to here eventually. You got your thermostat. You need a decent hygrometer, thermometer. Vivarium Electronics has a good one. I'll show you this right here. This is actually now just reading temperature. I probe dipped in the water, so it's not reading humidity correct now. So I gotta buy some replacements. So humidity, thermostat, temp, enclosure. For your enclosure, you want to get the best types of enclosures. I will never advocate for a glass enclosure that's not good for this species whatsoever. They're hard to maintain. It's not good for a tropical species. This is why I advocate plastic or PVC, because they are insulators. They hold heat better, they hold humidity better than a glass tank with a screen lid. Glass tanks with screen lids, they need way too many modifications to even be practical for the ball python. So, with that said, basic care, 55 to 70% humidity, 80 to 84 degrees ambient with an 88 to 90 degree hot spot. this is where you're going to get the best results with your ball python. Full sheds, better feed responses. It's just all around better care when you have your husbandry correct for these animals. So keep that in mind when you actually go out and buy these or adopt a ball python, or you've already have them. If you're not achieving constant temps, constant humidity without having to do anything, consider what you're doing and maybe consider a change. What we're trying to do here is we're just trying to make the best keepers out of you guys, so that way you can give the best quality of life to your ball python. So with that said, keep moving forward. #TubLife.